In this video, we'll be going over the mean, mode, median, and range. So this falls under the statistics section in math, and it will come in both the first and second stage for the 11 plus. Learning this skill earlier on is very good, as this will be used also at GCSE and A-level. So we have our data set here with lots of numbers, and what we're going to do first is we're going to find our mean. So we're going to try and find all four: mean, mode, median, and range. But to start off, we're going to find our mean. And so what is the mean, or the arithmetic mean, as people might say? The mean is the total of all the numbers divided by the total number of numbers. So with our data set here, we have a lot of numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to simplify this, and we're going to take it row by row. So we have all three rows. And to start off, we're going to separate all of our numbers into both their units and their tens digit. So, for example, 20 will have 0 in its units and 2 in its tens. And what we're going to do is we're going to add all our units digits together and all of our tens digits together before joining them. So if we move through from right to left here, 20 has 0 in its units digits, 16 has 6, 15 has 5, 22 has 2, 9 has 9, 14 has 4, and so on. And so when we add all our units digits together, we are given a total of 41. But this is only for the units. And so we can carry our 4 over. Next, what we can do is, since our tens digits are relatively small numbers, we can just count with them. So we have 2, 1 gives us 3, add 1 gives us 4, add 2 gives us 6, add 0 leaves us with 6, add 1 gives us 7, add 2 gives us 9, add 1 gives us 10, 1, 11, and 1 gives us 12. So we have 12 underneath our 4 here. And so if we add those together, we are left with 16. And our total here is 161. So this is what we've got from adding together our units digits individually and our tens digits individually and then joining them together. So if you repeat this for the other two rows, you will get the sums of 154 for the second row and 165 for the third row. Now we add them all together. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 5 gives us 10, so we write 0 and carry our 1. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 5, which is 12, plus 6, which is 18, so we write 8 and carry 1. And there are 4 ones here, so that's 4. So we have our total as 480. So this is the numerator of the fraction that we have here. So this is the total of all our numbers, 480. Now we have to find the total number of numbers. So now we just have to count all the instances for numbers. So in the first row, we have 10 numbers, and we have 3 rows. So we can easily do 10 times 3, and that gives us 30. So now we're left with 480 over 30. Now what we can do is we can divide both our numerator and denominator by 10 and cancel out the zeros. So we're left with 48 over 3. And if we divide 48 by 3, we're left with 16. So 16 is the mean of this set of data. Now we're going to use another method to find out the the mode, median, and range of this set of data. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use something called a stem and leaf diagram. So this will allow us to order all of our values, and it can help us to easily find the mode, median, and range. So with the stem and leash diagram, we're going to have to use a key system almost. So we're going to have our stem, which we're going to have as our tens digits, and our leaves will be our units digit. So our stem will start off with 0, 1, 2, and 3. Oh, sorry, no 3, just 2. And for each stem, we're going to write all the units digits that follow after it. So what this means is, for our stem that starts with 0, we're going to take all the numbers here that have 0 in the tens column. For the stem that starts with a 1, we're going to take numbers that have a 1 in the tens column, and the same for the stem with 2 that has a 2 in the tens column. So when we're writing this, we can start by crossing out all our numbers, but when we write the digits in, we want to write it in ascending order, so that is easier for us. So we want to find the smallest number that has a 0 in the tens digit, and that's 8. So we can cross out 8 and write 8 next to our 0. The next highest number is 9, so we can write that. And there is also another 9 as well. So we write 9 again. Now we have no other numbers that have a 0 in the tens digit, so we're going to move on to 1 now in the tens digit. And so our smallest there is 10. So we write a 0 because that's the units digit. There's another 10, so we repeat it and write a 0. Next we have 11, so we write a 1. And next we have 12, since there are no more 11s. So we write 2. And there's more than one 12, so we just repeat writing 2 for the number that for the amount of 12s that we have. Our next highest number is 15. So we have no 13s or 14s. Oh, sorry, we have 14, so we have no 13s, so we can go to 14, and we can write 4. And then we have 15, so we can write our 5. And then we have another 15. And then our next number up is 16. So that's 116. And then another one. And then there are 3 more after this, so we just keep writing 6, another 6, and one more 6. Our next largest number in the numbers that have a 1 in the tens column is 17. So there are 2 17s, so we're going to write 7 2 times. Next we have 18, and so we write our 8. Next we have 19, so we write a 9. And now that we've hit the end for that, we're going to go into our numbers that have a 2 in the tens column. So starting off with 20, we have 3 20s, so we're going to write 0 3 times. Next we have 3 21s. So we're going to write 1 3 times. Next we have a 22 on top, so that's 22. Then a 3, 23, so we write 3, and we end with 24, so that's a 4. Now we've ordered our numbers, which helps us in finding the median. We know what numbers are smallest and are biggest, which can help us find the range. And we can also see the frequency with just a number of digits to find our mode. So that's what we're going to start off with, our mode. So we want to find which digit is repeated many times next to each other. So if we take, for example, the 2's in the numbers that start with 1, there are 3 2's next to each other. So that's a large amount, but that's not the most amount of 2's, because adjacent to that we have 5 6's next to each other. And if we look at our other rows, there are no other occurrences that happen more times than the number of 6's that have numbers that start with 1. So what we can assume here is that 16 is the number that occurs the most amount of times, and so our mode is 16. Now the next easiest thing to do would be our range. And this is just as simple as looking at the number in the top left, which is 8, and subtracting it from the number which is at the bottom right, 24. So we're subtracting our lowest number from our highest number. So this is 24 minus 8. And our range is 16. Now we're left with our median. So since we have an even number of items, we can just divide our total by 2. So the total that we have is 30. And if we divide this by 2, we get 15. So the 15th item in our list, going in a consecutive order, is our number in the middle. So let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So our 15th item here is a 6 that starts with a 1, so that's 16. And so our median here is also 16. Now in the 11 plus, when you're actually doing this question, you won't get as many numbers as this. So there'll be a smaller amount of numbers, but they will test you on how to find the mode, median, range, and mean. So using the stem and leaf diagram can be easier for some, and so it gives us a nice organized way of looking at all of our numbers, and it's all ordered as well, so it can make it really easy for analysis.
As always, thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content.